Look who's in the reject bin. It's the Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Made him perfectly. So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care. 'Cause Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy
are
Dolls.
happy just to be Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me.
No, Florrie. I'm not blaming you. It's just that, well, we need to modernise here at Grimes Soft Toys. We must be more cost-effective.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Grimes.
So am I, Florrie, so am I. But in this day and age, every penny has to be spent wisely. Not only that, there have been complaints, you know.
Complaints? What complaints?
Now, don't say you've forgotten already. What about last Thursday?
Last Thursday? Now, let me see. What did I make for lunch? Oh, I know. It was bacon flan and treacle tart.
No, it wasn't. It was bangers and mash and banana custard.
Well, what was wrong with that?
Nothing at all, except you put the sausages in the custard and the bananas in the mash.
It was early Monday morning and a sad day for the Raggy Dolls. Florrie Fosdyke, the absent-minded canteen lady, was about to lose her job. They sat gloomily in the treehouse, wondering what they could do about it.
The place won't be the same without Florrie,
said Sad Sack at last.
I know she's very forgetful,
said Lucy.
but surely Mr. Grimes will give her another chance. I don't think so,
said Dotty.
Once he's made up his mind, he can be jolly determined. Oh, dear,
sighed Princess.
Poor Florrie, and it's all because of that silly inventor.
Only last Friday, a big van had arrived in the factory yard. A very odd-looking man got out and asked to see Mr. Grimes. The Raggy Dolls saw him drive in. They peeped around the corner of the factory wall as Mr. Grimes came down from his office to meet the man.
Ah, yes, indeed, Mr. Grimes. Pleased to meet you. Splendid, splendid. I am Professor Isaac Newton, inventor. It's very good of you to spare me some of your immensely valuable time. Yes, well, I haven't got all day, you know, muttered Mr. Grimes. What is it you want to show me? Ah, yes, indeed, gushed the Professor. I can see you are a man after my own heart. Straight to the point, no sense in beating about the bush, I say. Step this way.
Sacre bleu, said Claude. This professor can, how you say, talk the behind of a leg of the donkey. Shh, said Dotty. Listen.
Time is of the utmost importance in all things, I always say. I have something here that I'm sure will be of great interest to you. Something that can save you a great deal of time and, what's more, money.
Whatever can it be? Said Princess. We'd better take a look, said Dotty. Come on, chaps. Don't let them see you. The Professor and Mr. Grimes stood by the open back doors of the big van. The Raggy Dolls stared in amazement as a large mechanical robot on wheels rolled out of the back of the van. Wow, stammered Hi-Fi. Really impressed.
My word, said Mr. Grimes. What on earth is that? It's my very latest invention, said the Professor proudly. I call it the All-Purpose Economy Operative. It's got a brain of its own. Do you mean that thing can think for itself? Said Mr. Grimes suspiciously. Oh, no, laughed the Professor. It can only think for you. It can do any job a human being can do, and then it works out how to do it quicker and for less money. Said Mr. Grimes, intrigued. Now, what job would you like to see it do? Is there anywhere in your factory that could be more efficient? Well, now that you mention it, we have been having a few problems with the canteen. Splendid, splendid, bubbled the Professor. Show me what needs doing and I'll program my machine to improve on it. Very well, said Mr. Grimes. This way.
The two men made their way into the factory, followed by the robot, while the Raggy Dolls ran around to the canteen window, just in time to see a demonstration.
Well now, said Mr. Grimes, let's see what it can do. Can it make a cup of tea? But of course, said the Professor. It's already programmed for that. It can do the washing up at the same time, if you like. Once it knows where everything is, you just tell it what to do.
The Raggy Dolls watched as Mr. Grimes got out the tea bags, milk and sugar, the electric kettle in the teapot, some washing up liquid, and a dish mop.
Our canteen lady isn't here at the moment, said Mr. Grimes. She must be out shopping. Your machine can't do the shopping, can it? Oh, better than that, said the Professor. It can telephone all the local shops, find the best prices, and have all the goods delivered free of charge. Now, just tell the robot to make a cup of tea and do the washing up. Mr. Grimes felt a little foolish talking to a machine. You do it, he said. No, I assure you the robot is voice-activated. It responds to any command from anyone, so long as it saves you time and money. Mr. Grimes cleared his throat. Robot, make me a cup of tea and do the washing up.
Understood,
Said the robot. And immediately, all sorts of extra arms and mechanical fingers got to work, turning on taps, filling the kettle, squirting washing up liquid, picking up tea bags. Mr. Grimes was very impressed.
Poor Florrie, sighed Lucy. Now that robot has been told where everything is and what to do, she won't be needed anymore.
It's all very, very sad,
Said Sad Sack. Everyone agreed. Except Back to Front. He'd been quiet for a very long time, and now he suddenly had a brainwave. Eureka, he said. No problem. That machine is programmed to save time and money, right? The others nodded. And it's voice-activated. It listens to anyone, right? The others nodded again, and Back to Front grinned. Well, I think it's about time we had a little talk with that robot. What do you mean? Demanded Dotty. Simply this. And he whispered something in Dotty's ear.
What's going on?
Demanded Sad Sack.
Ha! Brilliant,
Laughed Dotty.
That really is good thinking. Come on, chaps. Back to Front will explain on the way. There's no time to lose.
Raggy Dolls to the rescue!
Yelled Back to Front. The Raggy Dolls arrived in the canteen just as the robot was about to make Mr. Grimes his morning cup of coffee.
Excuse me, Mr. Robot.
Said Dotty.
Is it true that you are programmed to save time and money?
That is correct.
Answered the robot.
Then would you be so kind as to tell us what the most expensive part of a cup of coffee is?
The coffee.
Said the robot immediately. Then it paused to think.
Understood. Eliminate the coffee.
What about milk and sugar?
Said Lucy.
That costs money too.
Understood.
Said the robot.
Eliminate the milk and sugar.
How about the hot water? Said Claude.
Oh, yes.
Said Princess.
Electricity is very expensive.
You even have to pay for cold water,
Added Sad Sack.
Understood.
Said the robot.
Understood. Understood.
Half an hour later, an angry Mr. Grimes came into the canteen, only to find the robot doing absolutely nothing. Where's my cup of coffee?
A cup of coffee is a waste of time and money.
But I like my morning cup of coffee. And what about lunch? Where's the lunch?
No lunch. Save time.
But what about the workers? They've got to have something to eat.
Get rid of the workers. Save money.
This is ridiculous. Without the workers, there won't be any toys.
Close the factory. Toys are expensive and a waste of time.
Just then, Florrie Fosdyke came in.
I'm ever so sorry, Mr. Grimes, but I forgot my...
Oh, Florrie, said Mr. Grimes. Am I pleased to see you? Never mind what you've forgotten. Start making lunch. I've got a telephone call to make.
Telephone calls are expensive.
Said the robot. And as for you, said Mr. Grimes, wagging a finger at the robot, I don't want to hear another word.
Understood.
Said the robot. Outside the canteen window, the Raggy Dolls giggled and shook hands. They were really pleased that Florrie had got her old job back. And so was Mr. Grimes. He was so pleased, he even bought her a big box of chocolates.
Raggy dolls, dolls like you and me. Raggy dolls, made imperfectly. So if you're not at ease with your knobbly knees and your fingers are all funds, stand on your two left feet and join our Raggy Doll chums. 'Cause Raggy dolls are happy just to be. Raggy dolls, dolls like you and me.